Can a city genuinely flourish when hundreds of its citizens lack a stable residence to call their own? In Wichita, Kansas, a storied center of America's Midwest homelessness throws a somber veil across our mutual hopes for advancement and unity. This ordeal affecting veterans' households and many others isn't merely a figure. It's a plea to address the personal toll of indifference and the potential for change.
It's been a rough life. I've been homeless for 2 years now. I have to figure where to go eat, where to stay. Sometimes I sleep under bridges. It's not fun.
Wichita remains at a transition, weighing endurance against the vital push for answers to a rising hardship that reflects the wider conflict of being homeless in America. Follow us as we explore the truths, primary drivers, and brave paths ahead. If this speaks to you, please like, remark, subscribe, and post this media to enter the discussion regarding remedies for homelessness in America. The grim truth of unhoused life in Wichita. The figures strike like a chill wind. In January 2025, past 130 workers braved bitter conditions for the point-in-time pit census, showing 736 people homeless in America's city of Wichita and Sedgwick County. Of these, 541 gained brief safety in facilities or halfway living, while others struggled in spots no person should inhabit: alleys, autos, or crude tents. That's a rise from 691 in 2024, echoing a countrywide spike in the unhoused population. But cold data only begins the story of this disaster. Picture a soldier in his 50s fighting trauma, finding heat in a seasonal refuge. His struggle repeats numerous others in Wichita's city center and Old Midtown, where clusters like Sim Park, drawing 16 reports in 2025, spark tension. These sites, created out of pure necessity, raise difficult inquiries about security and hygiene for nearby neighbors. How can we weigh empathy for the destitute against the requirements of the general public? It's a fragile path to navigate. The Alliance to Stop Homelessness, run by United Way of the Plains, is getting to work placing 407 souls into stable homes in 2025, a firm 41 more than prior years. Still, the growth in displacement points toward larger structural flaws. Wichita's battle mirrors a wider ordeal of being homeless in America, where failing networks, not only private failures, trap people. The narcotic crisis, especially fentanyl, acts like throwing fuel on a flame, making healing and balance seem like pursuing a ghost. This isn't merely about digits, it's about actual citizens who've slipped through the floor. From patriots struggling with hidden wounds to households trapped in poverty, the mortal cost feels immense. Wichita waits at a junction. Mending the issue will not suffice. What is required to address the core origins and offer everyone a true chance? By facing structural mistakes and factors like dependency, the town can build a route ahead. The effort's starting, but it's a tough climb to make sure nobody's left out in the frost. The opioid scourge, a destructive force behind displacement. In Wichita, fentanyl is causing chaos, surfacing as a primary catalyst of the town's unhoused emergency. This inexpensive, potent, artificial narcotic has surged throughout the country, and Wichita is experiencing the pain. In 2024, Sedgwick County documented past 100 fatalities tied to fentanyl, with a significant portion involving persons residing on the pavement. Its minimal price and habit-forming draw pull people into a sinking vortex, making the hope of a steady house seem like pursuing a shadow for those already fighting to survive.
Gotten a lot more dangerous than it was when I first came out here. It's a lot younger people, drugs, gangs.
The influence of fentanyl strikes like a heavy truck. For residents dealing with indigence or psychic health issues, this substance can be the final strike pushing them into homelessness. Once hooked, humans endure fading wellness, a steady risk of poisoning, and massive obstacles to restoring their existences. Refuge and welfare agencies are thinned out, scarcely capable to fulfill the surging demand for dependency therapy. Groups like ComCare and Hunter Health manage healing initiatives, but they're getting by with restricted assets, leaving many without a safety net. How can Wichita stop this fatal loop when assist networks are pushed to the edge? The outward impacts strike the whole neighborhood. Trauma centers in Wichita are swamped with overdose incidents, racking up expenses roughly $10,000 per stay on median. For those lacking a roof, fentanyl dependency frequently implies favoring the next dose over seeking housing or employment, binding them to a world of hopelessness. It's a dark fact addiction sustains homelessness, and homelessness makes breaking the routine feel like scaling Everest. Addressing this directly is no minor task, but it's a battle Wichita cannot manage to avoid. The route ahead depends on boosting recovery entry and linking it to dwelling fixes. Ventures like Second Light, which we'll examine next, are moving up to tackle both dependency and homelessness in one move. Currently, one fact's perfectly obvious: Wichita won't make a mark on being homeless in America without facing the fentanyl plague with total power. This isn't just about preserving souls, it's about offering individuals a genuine opportunity at winning back their tomorrow. Core origins: deciphering the intricacy of displacement. Displacement in Wichita isn't a basic issue, it's a tangle of structural breakdowns that requires intense analysis. At its heart, financial fragility fuels much of the trauma. Across the U.S., budget housing is disappearing, and Wichita's no exception. With costs rising quicker than earnings, nearly 15% of the town's citizens exist under the poverty threshold, barely staying their bodies above liquid. For those living on meager pay or static checks, one hurdle, a vehicle fix, a firing, or a sudden lease jump can push them past the brink into homelessness. It's a harsh reality that hits without notice. Psychic health struggles increase the pressure. A projected 30–40% of Wichita's unhoused inhabitants deals with ailments like worry, bipolar illness, or major mental sicknesses. Still obtaining steady help is a lost dream for many. Overburdened offices and neglected initiatives mean slow queues and scarce openings, leaving persons isolated. Without right backing some use chemicals like liquor or narcotics to manage falling further into a loop that's almost unattainable to flee. How can we restore a network that's failing folks who require it most? Social injustices add a further tier of misery. Dwelling prejudice blocks out fragile groups, ethnic minorities, LGBTQ+ people, making it harder to obtain a secure spot to stay. Then there's the paradox of lost documentation. Without a state card or social security paper, typical among those on the stones, starting a cash account, becoming employed, or leasing a flat feels like pursuing a ghost. These hurdles, indigence, mental wellness voids, and local bias erect fences around progress keeping, being homeless in America, including Wichita, a constant trial. The risks are great. Tackling these basic factors while providing urgent help is a huge task. Wichita's fight is a snapshot of a federal disaster where being homeless in America mirrors not merely private bad luck, but fractured frameworks that let the most fragile fall. What is needed to build a rescue net that holds everyone? The route ahead rests in creative schemes and group effort, which we'll examine soon. By meeting these deep-rooted factors directly, Wichita can create fixes that don't merely patch the trouble, but build the groundwork for final reform. Creative Remedies, Wichita's answer to the emergency. Despite the intimidating trials of being homeless in America, specifically Wichita, the municipality has answered with a sequence of inventive schemes that provide optimism and viable fixes. Leading the charge is the Second Light Endeavor, a radical mission started in May 2020. Located in the remodeled Park Elementary School, Second Light is slated to turn into an all-inclusive core for tackling displacement by late 2025. With $6.3 million set aside for upgrades and $5 million for functioning finance, mostly via the American Rescue Plan Act, RPA, and joint sector alliances, this facility will offer housing meals, clinical aid, psychic wellness, help dependency therapy, and routes to stable residences. By merging resources within a single building, Second Light seeks to simplify assistance, guaranteeing that people like the soldier fighting trauma can obtain total care without managing a broken network. The participation of groups such as Humankind Ministries, Lord's Diner Hunter Health, and Sedgwick County's ComCare highlights the cooperative energy fueling this project. Another vital strategy is the Homeless Outreach Team HOT, a scheme created to divert people from the penal legal network toward helpful agencies. When emergency calls involve unhoused persons, HOT steps in to supply refuge doctor care or recovery help instead of detention, lowering needless jail time and tackling core problems. This method not only preserves civic assets, but also softens the reaction to being homeless in America, admitting that prison is seldom a remedy for those already cast aside. The Housing First strategy has also found momentum in Wichita, offering lasting dwellings without requirements followed by specific aid programs. In 2025, the Alliance to Stop Homelessness noted helping 1,407 souls in steady houses, a 41 individual rise since 2024. This plan favors balance, realizing that a protected residence is the basis for confronting mental wellness dependency or job-related hurdles. Furthermore, the Homeless Prevention Scheme managed by groups like Center of Hope provides monetary aid to avoid removals or power cuts, halting displacement before it starts. These works show a move toward active, merciful answers, presenting a guide for addressing homelessness in America. Local IDs titled the Air Capital Card, signify another progressive move. Ready to launch in 2025, this project will supply documentation to unhoused citizens, allowing entry to work finance and welfare without the obstacle of destroyed or absent papers. For many, this basic card might be the secret to escaping the loop of displacement. Combined, these projects show Wichita's dedication to facing the disaster with ingenuity and empathy, though their victory relies on continued capital and neighborhood backing. Financial and communal consequences. The outward impact of displacement. Displacement in Wichita doesn't merely impact those lacking a roof, it sends tremors through the town's finances and social structure, striking hard in manners that require notice. A 2025 report from Wichita State University's Center for Public Policy and Management calculates the disaster costs $20.2 million every year. This encompasses large invoices for trauma center stays, nearly $10,000 per for neglected medical problems or poisonings, and police time spent handling reports about clusters or small survival-based crimes, such as intrusion. When humans are trapped in volatility, unable to enter the labor force, the town misses out on their talent, adding to fiscal deficits that injure everybody. Communally, homelessness wears the bonds that hold Wichita together. In 2025, zones like Sim Park witnessed 16 citizen grievances regarding sites where persons with no other choices establish camps. These locations raise actual worries about civic security, sanitation, and dropping estate prices, stoking friction between mercy for the destitute and the wish for tidy districts. How can Wichita respect the worth of those in distress while guaranteeing neighborhoods feel safe? These sites, frequently a hopeless final effort, spark arguments that test the city's sense of togetherness and common goal. Still, optimism isn't beyond grasp. Wichita can find motivation from areas like Bergen County, New Jersey, which hit functional zero displacement for soldiers and long-term cases by favoring simplified help and dwelling fixes. By taking similar tactics, Wichita might reduce the weight on its ledger and restore public confidence. Programs like Second Light and the Homeless Outreach Team. Cha Anji and Unfels is Dear are already seeing progress lowering apparent homelessness while steering individuals toward balance with focused assistance. The route ahead is difficult but not unreachable. Fighting being homeless in America, including in Wichita, demands continued spending in budget residences, doctor help, and narcotic healing schemes, especially to fight the ruinous drug plague. Rules that tackle structural walls like lopsided access to chances must also take central focus. What is required to build a town where nobody is pushed aside? By facing these trials with brave deeds, Wichita can clear the track for a tougher, more welcoming neighborhood where everybody has a solid chance at a steady existence and nobody is made to brave the frost by themselves. Neighborhood and civic engagement, a plea for cooperation. Addressing displacement in Wichita requires every person involved, neighbors, agencies, and leadership working as one to reverse the flow. For ordinary people, there's no lack of methods to assist. The Alliance to Stop Homelessness, located at unitedwayplains.org, is seeking helpers to assist with engagement, info gathering, or straight-up aid. Gifts to teams like Center of Hope or Humankind Ministries keep refugees operating meals on plates and forestalling schemes vigorous. Additionally, cost-free coaching at homelesstraining.com imparts calming techniques assisting people to engage with the destitute with compassion and expertise. These minor actions can ignite a wave effect, transforming existences one deed at a time. On the civic side, Wichita is advancing with gutsy steps. The Air Capital Card Scheme launching in 2025 will offer unhoused persons documentation to enter work finance and welfare actual instruments to restore their worlds. National support, like the $3.6 billion SHUD provided in 2025 for continuum of care plans, across the board adds power into regional works. But lasting victories mean increasing focus on budget residences and psychic wellness assistance. The town's displacement work group gathering, often at spots like the Advanced Learning Library, keeps everybody in sync, connecting bureaus and local allies to face core origins while fulfilling vital requirements. The battle against being homeless in America, including right here in Wichita, requires more than just active workers. It demands lobbying. How can you act to advocate for rules that favor dwelling and narcotic therapy? Pressuring officials to emphasize accessible houses and fentanyl healing initiatives is vital. By discovering from Triumph tales and relying on civic-private alliances, Wichita can create a manual for final transformation. Each gift helper, time, or contact to a lawmaker shifts the scale nearer to a tomorrow where nobody's left resting on the pavement. Final thoughts: a dream for a Wichita without displacement. As we consider the condition of displacement in Wichita, the hurdles are certain, but the town's reaction provides a light of optimism. From the radical promise of Second Light to the empathetic engagement of the homeless outreach team, Wichita is building a track toward remedies that value honor and balance. The narcotic disaster fiscal burdens and communal biases drive this problem, but via united effort, the municipality can halt the loop. Enter us in this quest, follow, remark, and post to broadcast knowledge and spark reform. Together we can imagine a Wichita where each person possesses a spot to call theirs, a town that paves the road in stopping being homeless in America.